everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Bianca, and in this video we're going to be doing another yarn review and a crochet vlog. If you don't know, I like to crochet, and I recently have been getting into plushies and things like that. So basically I ordered a bunch of yarn from Hobbii. So basically I've just been trying out a bunch of different yarns to use for plushies. As of right now, my favorite is definitely Michael's Sweet Snuggles and Sweet Snuggles Light. I also do enjoy using the Hobby Lobby yarn. Those are really the only in-store brands, so I've been testing out other yarn brands, specifically yarn that I can buy online. I just did a review of the Premier Parfait XL yarn, the size 7 jumbo yarn. I have that posted, so if you didn't see that, definitely go check that out. And now I'm going to do the Hobbii review. So let's see the package review. Here it is. This is how much yarn I got. Yeah, I mean, it's not a crazy amount, but it might be a lot, because actually I think like Hobbii yarn, they come kind of small, I'm not gonna lie. I honestly forgot how much I ordered, like how many colors I ordered, because I got this a couple weeks ago. Oh, it says it right here. Okay, I got 14 skeins. Yeah, and the whole package was $70. Yeah. But I got this a couple weeks ago, so that's why I didn't really remember. I've had it sitting to the side so I could record this video. I've had a lot going on, but we're finally gonna get into it. So yeah, so we're gonna do a yarn review, and the project that we're gonna do to test out the yarn is I'm gonna be making a Minion, I think. I didn't look for a pattern, so let's hope I can find one after I open this package, okay? And then if not, I'll let you guys know, but we're just gonna hope for the best, okay? So let's open up the package. Okay, so everything that I ordered is the same brand, I'm guessing, or the same line, whatever you call it. And it is a size 6 yarn. So I have these different blues. I got 3 different blues. This blue, I need to start paying attention more, because I actually already have this blue. I ordered it previously in another order from Hobbii, and I guess I didn't realize I had it, so I ordered another one. But yeah, we're gonna be making some blue projects, I guess. And then I got these 2 purples. I got a pink and a red. I hope you guys can see the pink. I got like a white and a cream color. I got like this orange color and this brown. I don't know what this would be considered, like tan maybe. And then lastly, I got green, black, and gray. So something that I noticed immediately was the size of the yarn. I didn't order a yellow color because I already had yellow here, I'm guessing. So I went to go pick up a yellow, and I went to go compare the two, just because I know with different yarn brands, like you'll get them from different places and they'll say one size, but like for example, Michael's yarn and Premier yarn size 7, they're just a little bit different. So I definitely wanted to compare that. And when I worked with like Hobbii yarn before, I ordered some yarn for them that was supposed to be a size 6, and it was like a major difference between the Michael size 6 and the Hobbii size 6. So the first thing I did is compare the yellow to the Hobbii yarn, just to make sure they would work together. And when I looked at them, I felt like they look pretty close in size. So the black is the Hobbii yarn, and the yellows is what I have here. The yellow looks like it might be slightly bigger, but not that much, like not so much to the point where it's going to mess up the whole project. But I honestly I don't have any idea where I got that yellow from. I don't have the wrapping for it, and I just can't remember where it came from. So I went and got a different size 6 Sweet Snuggles, like a Sweet Snuggles Light, just to compare it. And when you look at it, when you compare the two in here, you can see the difference in size a lot more. It's a lot more obvious. With these two, you can kind of see that the yellow is slightly smaller than the blue. I'm not sure where I got the yellow from. Honestly, Michael's Sweet Snuggles and Sweet Snuggles Light, they haven't been putting out the best stuff. I've been hearing from other crocheters on YouTube that some of the batches they've been getting aren't that great. So I'm thinking this yellow, it could be Sweet Snuggles Light, but maybe I just got a bad batch. But in terms of size, compared to Michael's, this size 6 is a lot smaller. When it comes to like softness, the yarn is really soft. It feels pretty good. When it comes to shedding, I mean, I feel like this pretty much happens with most thicker yarns, but if you do pull on the end a little bit, it does shed. So we'll see how that goes actually crocheting, but I honestly feels like that's something that happens with a lot of the thicker yarns. I did end up finding the Minion pattern. I found a pattern online for it. Yeah, let's go. Guys, I don't know what it is, but this is like my 3rd magic ring. This magic ring does not want to close at all. Y'all, I don't really know what's going on, but I just tried to do my middle pull and this happened. It just came right out. And in the middle of the pieces are just like random, like this. Yeah, so I don't really know what's going on with that, but I bought a lot of this yarn. I bought a lot. So I'm gonna need it to get it together. So we're gonna try again. I'm thinking this is, oh, I think it just broke. Or it was already broken inside. All right. The rest of the yarn looks good though, so we're gonna keep going and hope for the best. Hi everyone, I'm back. It's the next day, so I worked a little bit more this morning. I didn't show you guys where I left off last night, but I got to a pretty good spot last night. But I worked a little bit more this morning. I'll show you where I got. So first, most of this is done. I have the arms to do. Well, I have to attach the arms. I have the feet done. I have to attach them. I have to make the overalls too. And also there's this little space right here of yellow. So I don't like that. So I have to figure out something to do to cover that. I'm thinking I can just like sew a piece to the blue part and it'll cover it. Then also this morning, I made a whole nother one because I wanted to do one of the Minions with 2 eyes. And I honestly was enjoying making this. Like I was enjoying making the Minion, so I was like, let me just do a whole nother one. The arms and the legs are done for this one also, and I also just have to figure out a way to cover the yellow on this one. Also, the last thing I have to do after that is just add a black line for the goggles line. So I'm just gonna sew all the pieces on first. All right, I finished the Minions and here they are. They are so adorable. They're so freaking cute. I love them. First, let's talk a little bit about this pattern. I think this was a pretty good pattern. I liked following the pattern. There's just a few things I would change / I did change. So first, the pattern had you make the body first and stuff it and close it off, then make the eyes. I didn't even do that. Me personally, it's easier for me to sew stuff on when like the body is open. So I did most of the body, and before I stuffed it and closed it, I went to doing the eyes. Then I sewed the eyes on and then finished the rest of the body. And the second thing I would change is the placement, like the way you do the overalls a little bit. For the overalls, you mark it with like back loop only stitches in the front, and instead of marking it on a yellow space, I would mark it on like the blue, so you don't see the yellow. I ended up having to like sew it a little bit to cover up the yellow, but I think if like I would mark the blue with back stitches only instead of the yellow line, then that will help. The only other change I made was with the double eyes. The pattern this was the pattern for one eye, but for this one I just made another eye and put it next to it. I really like working with the pattern. I'll link it in the description just in case you want to try it out. So let's talk about this yarn. First, the yellow yarn, I went back and looked and I can confirm this was Sweet Snuggles Light. I definitely got a bad batch because this yarn sucked, but we're not here to talk about this yarn. We're here to talk about the Hobbii yarn. The Hobbii yarn was okay. I guess I'll start with shedding. For shedding, I'll give it maybe a 6 out of 10. Maybe I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It wasn't as bad as the Premier yarn with shedding. It shed a tiny bit while I was crocheting, but not a whole lot. There was like a part I was crocheting and a part came up where it like got really thin. I just pulled my phone out and took a video to show you guys, so I'll add it here. The shedding wasn't too bad. The only place the shedding was really bad, like I think you can see it all over my shirt, was weaving in the ends, and that's really annoying. So maybe I'll give it a 6.5, because when I was weaving in the ends, the yarn would just like come off and shed, and it got annoying because then it's like less of an end to weave in. And plus I had like an end that I started on this side and I wanted to take it through and use it as a strap, but I couldn't do that because as I was weaving in the ends, it was shedding. So that's really annoying. And another thing is really annoying is that I've been having to pick like so much sheddings off this project just because like while I was weaving in the ends, it shed so much. So yeah, I'm gonna change my rating to a 6.5. For the size, I'm gonna give the size a 5, the size of the yarn a 5, because compared to the Hobby Lobby and the Michaels, and I think even Joann's, compared to those, this is like not a size 6. I don't know what the standard should be, but this is a really thin size 6, and I could not use this yarn with a Michael size 6 unless it was a bad skein like that yellow. This is basically the same size as a Hobby Lobby size 5 yarn, so I am gonna give the size of a 5 because it's just a little thin. It's just a little too small. When it comes to softness, I'll give this a 9 out of 10. It's very, very soft. It feels really good. It's very soft. Color range, I'll put a picture of all the colors they have. They have a lot of colors, so I'll give that an 8 out of 10. And then for price, so the price of this yarn is $9, and this is about how much you get. Obviously I used some blue, but I didn't use a lot of blue. So this for $9, I'm gonna give the price a 4 out of 10. One, because I feel like you don't get a lot of yarn for $9. $9 is really expensive. And two, I don't think the quality of this yarn is worth $9 just because the yarn does shed a lot and it's a really thin yarn. So yarn for $9 for this amount and the fact that it sheds a lot and it's thin isn't really worth it to me. When I bought this yarn, I bought a lot of it, but I also bought it on sale. I will say that Hobbii does have a lot of sales. When I got this yarn, I got it on sale for $5. So if it costs $5 all the time, I will honestly give the price a 10 out of 10 because that's a really good price. But $9 is not a good price to me. So if I were you, I literally would just wait for a sale before you buy it. So my overall rating of this is going to be a 7 out of 10. I did like it and I did enjoy using it. It was very soft. I will say, like, while I was making this, I had a good time making it and I didn't feel like the yarn was fighting me or I had many problems with the yarn. There's just some things that kind of are preventing me from giving it the 3 extra points. Just the things, obviously, the things that I just talked about. So yeah, I will recommend this yarn. This is a good yarn to use. Like I said, I would use it as a size 5 yarn. That's my rating of the Hobbii yarn. These are my minions. And yeah, thank you for watching this video. That's going to be it for today, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you share my video with a friend. Until the next one. Bye.